Hello, everyone. Today, I'm excited to discuss a topic that lies at the heart of athletic success: the impact of coaching styles and strategies on player development. Effective coaching plays a pivotal role in unlocking an athlete's potential, influencing not only their skills, but also their psychological well being. However, the optimal approach to coaching remains an area of ongoing debate and research. This lecture aims to delve into this fascinating subject and explore the complex relationship between coaching and player development. First, we're going to start this pre-proposal study with research background. Extensive research has explored the impact of various coaching styles, such as autocratic, democratic, and transformative, on player outcomes. While some studies suggest the effectiveness of specific styles, others highlight a more nuanced interaction between coaching style and player characteristics, such as age and experience level. Furthermore, researchers emphasize the importance of motivation in player development. Studies have investigated the role of coaches in fostering intrinsic motivation and creating a supportive learning environment where athletes feel competent, autonomous, and connected to their teammates. Interestingly enough, recent work suggests a potential interaction between a coach's approach to teaching and their approach to motivation, ultimately influencing players' outcomes. Next, we'll be looking at the research questions. This pre-proposal will address several key research questions that dive deeper into the relationship between coaching and player development. First question is, how do different coaching styles, including autocratic, democratic, transformational, situational, positive, and mentoring, influence player development in terms of skills, motivations, enjoyment, and psychological well-being? The second question is, how does the interaction between a coach's teaching and motivational approach affect player development? Third question is, how does a coach's use of individual instruction versus group instruction impact player development? And how does this interaction vary depending on players' learning styles? The fourth question is, do the optimal coaching styles and strategies vary depending on player characteristics such as age, experience, level, personality, and cultural background? My last question is, how can coaches effectively adapt their teaching and motivational strategies to accommodate the individual needs of their players? Next, we will take a look at the theoretical framework. This research will be informed by several established theoretical frameworks, the first being the self-determination theory. This theory says that intrinsic motivation, fueled by autonomy, competence, and relativeness in the learning environment, is the most sustainable and effective form of motivation. The second theoretical framework that we'll be looking at is multidimensional model of leadership. This model purpose that effective leadership involves fulfilling the needs of followers for autonomy, competence, relativeness, and influence. The last theoretical framework that we'll be looking at is andragogy. This theory emphasizes the importance of adult learning principles in coaching, such as self-directedness, experience-based learning, and problem-centered approaches. Next, we're going to take a look at the methodology, which is to gain a comprehensive understanding of the research questions. This study will employ a mixed methods approach, combining quantitative and qualitative data collection methods. In terms of quantitative data, one of the first methods will be through surveys that will be administered to both coaches and athletes to assess their perceptions of coaching styles, motivation levels, learning styles, cultural background, and overall satisfaction with their experiences. Next is performance data will be analyzed to evaluate the impact of different coaching approaches on player skill development and team performance. Thirdly, is standardized psychometric assessments will be used to measure personality traits and other individual characteristics relevant to player development. Next is qualitative data Observations will be conducted to observe coaches' interactions with players and analyze their teaching and motivational strategies in natural settings. Interviews will be conducted with both coaches and players to gain deeper insights into their experiences and perspectives on coaching styles, their impact on development, and preferred learning approaches. Lastly is through focus groups that will be conducted with coaches and athletes separately, and this is to explore specific themes and issues related to coaching styles and player development. Next is data analysis, and this is where quantitative data will be analyzed using statistical methods that we learned in class, such as ANOVA and regression models, to identify any significant relationships between coaching styles, player characteristics, and development outcomes. Qualitative data will be analyzed using thematic analysis to identify recurring patterns and themes in the data. Next, I will be discussing the study phases, and this research will be conducted in 2 different phases. Starting with phase 1, which is a pilot study. A pilot study with a smaller sample size will be conducted to refine the research instruments and procedures. This will involve assessing the feasibility and effectiveness of the data collection methods, identifying any potential problems, and refining the data analysis plan. The timeline for the study is expected to take approximately 3 months to complete with the following timeline. Month 1 is the development of pilot-specific instruments and procedures. Month 2 is recruitment and data collection. And Month 3 is data analysis, interpretation, and refinement of instruments. The budget for the pilot is around $5,000, and this will cover the cost of research assistants and data collectors, participant incentives, data collection materials, and data analysis software. For phase 2, this is the main study that will be conducted with a larger and more diverse sample of participants. This will involve collecting both quantitative and qualitative data to comprehensively investigate the impact of various coaching styles and strategies on player development across diverse age groups, experience levels, and individual characteristics. The main study is expected to take around 18 months with the following timeline. Between months 1 to 3, we're going to sample recruitment and data collection. Months 4 to 6 is data analysis interpretation. Months 7 to 9 is manuscript writing and review. Months 10 to 12 is dissemination of findings, and month 13 to 18 is development of educational resources and outreach activities. The budget of this is estimated to be around $50,000, but this is a rough estimate. This will cover the cost of research assistants, data collectors, and the interviewees, participant incentives, data collection materials, questionnaire surveys, observation checklists, data analysis software, travel and conference expenses, and publication fees. The ethical consideration is this study will adhere to the highest ethical standards in research involving human participants. Study protocol will be reviewed and approved by an institutional review board prior to data collection, and informed consents will be obtained from all participants, and their anonymity and confidentiality will be ensured through the research process. Next is dissemination. The findings of the study will be disseminated through various channels to reach a broad audience and make a significant contribution to the field of coaching and player development. This includes publication of research articles in peer-reviewed journals, presentation of findings at conferences and research meetings, development of educational resources and workshops for coaches, and finally, in my very own Baskets for Brats basketball camp that I will be hosting every summer on military bases. And in that, I will have a coaching segment so I can teach the coaches over at Ramstein, Germany, so on and so forth, and all coaches that I can about this topic in different ways that they can tweak their own approach to coaching and how to have a better outcome for students and for those students and athletes to overall have a better outcome for life. This brings me to my conclusion. This proposed research study has the potential to make a significant contribution to the field of coaching and player development. By investigating the complex relationship between coaching and how coaches can improve their coaching styles to not only impact players on the court, but to have them take the lessons learned throughout their life when they're finally done and hang up those shoes. Thank you so much for listening, and have a great day.